Cloudcast Media.
Drew Schlosberg Spotlight on the Community Show, amplifying the voices of social impact organizations, entrepreneurs, local nonprofits, and other community champions who shape the culture, creativity, and connectivity of San Diego. Brought to you by Mission Fed Credit Union, bringing good things to San Diego for over 60 years. Learn more about what is good for you and good for all by visiting www.missionfed.com.
I'm Drew Schlosberg of Cloudcast Media, and we are always pleased to have in the studio with us today our longtime friend and colleague, Debra Emerson is the CEO of St. Madeleine Sophie Center. How you doing, Debra?
I'm doing good.
How many times have you been on the show?
More than 20 times, probably.
I think so. I think you have the all-time record, and because the content you provide is just terrific. Joined by my co-host, he is a senior producer of the Spotlight on the Community Show and other Cloudcast Media projects and shows, and that is Ian Solomon, and he has a question for you right out of the gate.
Hi, Deborah.
Hi, Ian.
Why don't we just get this started, and you can tell us a little bit about the mission of your organization.
The mission of St. Madeleine Sophie Center is to develop people with intellectual and developmental disabilities and have them get into the community and share their skills and their dreams and goals. We do that every day. So it's every day is a different day there. It's exciting, and the people I serve are just wonderful.
Yeah, it's quite fascinating, and Ian, you'd enjoy going out there and visit. They have a whole variety of events. In fact, she's brought in some of her
my stuff here.
The stuff is right there, and she's brought some of the people that are at St. Madeleine's over to the show here and have been on our show, and they're just delightful and so forth. And I always ask this question that. The organization is how old now?
We're celebrating 60 years.
Unbelievable. Is there still someone that has been there the whole time? Because there used to be when you in the 50s years you guys have been doing this. Is there still someone there since the beginning?
Pretty much. We have a couple people. Mark Remlin, he was an artist, and I think he came with
He
me
did,
one.
right.
And I think he just turned 70. So he came as a child. People with disabilities originally weren't allowed in the school system, and that's why
Right.
St. Madeleine's helped children with disabilities. So, and I think another person was Christina Woodruff, also an artist, and she just came back. So people come and go, but they're both great artists too.
Yeah, when you think about that, someone who started as a kid and has been doing it for 60 years is just terrific. Talk a little bit about how the mechanism works. How many people? It's day. It's not overnight, correct?
Right. It's a day program. We start about 8 to go to 3 every day.
Right.
We bus people in. We pick people up, curb to curb service, or parents bring them in, or
Right.
group homes do. And so once they get there, they have a schedule, and then we have a variety of curriculums based on their ability and disability.
How many people can be in one day?
Starting the morning, it's about 380. And some people come in, some people we meet them in the community.
Right.
And then I have about 100 staff. So I always say it's like a village.
You said it's all age ranges?
Of 22 to 85. We just lost somebody. She was 82, and her name was Wilma, just the sweetest Southern girl. And she'd say, "Oh, you look so beautiful today, Deborah," if I saw her. So she was just made your day.
Right. So of the 380, how many of them come every day, or are some like 3 days a week, or are they pretty much here every day?
Yeah, some are 3 days a week, and
Okay.
some are, we do some virtual also. We had
Nice.
started that during COVID, and we've been able to continue it because people with disabilities have some high health issues sometimes, and so that if they're homesick, they can get on virtual.
Right. Exactly. Ian?
Yeah, so the facility itself, how long is it the same place the whole way through?
Yes, pretty much. It's been there, El Cajon, since the early 60s. I think even a little before, because they were doing Sunday school and things like that. The Sacred Heart nuns were the ones that originally started. There was a Sacred Heart elementary school next door. Now that's a Christian school. But originally, that's why we're celebrating also the Sacred Heart's history and vision for St. Madeleine Sophie Center.
And in which ways has it changed over the years?
Mostly probably we've added buildings and programs and curriculums, and we have buses that pick up people. We also have a gallery off-site, and which is really important to us to show our talents that we have. We have a swimming pool, a junior Olympic swimming pool. We host Special Olympics, and we're hoping to expand that program to more swim lessons. We used to do it way before COVID. It's like we haven't caught up from having the COVID thing. And so we're hoping to open some other programs more in the afternoon.
Yeah, I think, Ian, I got to tell you, when you see what goes on at this place and where, the activities, and you meet these folks, just your heart just warms immediately, and then you see the artwork they do and the full of life, and let you know that Deborah's heard me say this for the amount of time she's been on the show. I'm hoping I'm alive when there's no stigma. I say this, I guess, with a variety of other things, whether it's, mental health or whether it's developmentally, challenged, because there shouldn't be. It absolutely shouldn't be. I'm preaching to the congregation in that aspect of it. When you see the creativity that comes out of there, it is just absolutely, phenomenal. How has funding been? I know that's always a challenge in this area. Bobs and weaves and so forth, correct?
Yes, the state budget has always created financial difficulties because it doesn't catch up with like right now, gas prices. I get a certain amount of, gas per trip or something like that. And right now the gas is taking a lot of that. So just picking up people, bringing people in. Also, our day rates get cut based on the state budget. So 2 of our programs got cut $10 a day. So that's about 300 people, $10 a day. So that adds up, puts more pressure on the fundraising aspect.
Right.
So I ever since I've been there, it's been that issue.
Yeah, right. Well, it is, we know money doesn't grow on trees in this aspect of it, and is worthwhile with the wonderful things that you folks do. Always trying to find ways of who is this next donor, who is this next person that can, work with you on it. Talk a little bit about, before I turn it back over to Ian, who do you collaborate with? What other organizations do you work with? I'm always bringing up your name when we're talking about Terry, or we're talking about Noah Holmes and the folks that are in your space. And but you guys work really well together, do you not?
Yes, we do. Also, Meals on Wheels. We're a big volunteer for Meals on Wheels. We deliver food to seniors, and that's a really great partnership. And then we work for different other businesses and cities, things like that. So I'm a big collaborator. It's always interesting and exciting when you do have new projects that you can collaborate with somebody that has a similar mission and vision.
Yeah, there's no question about that. Ian?
I was wondering if you could tell us a little bit more about the California Dreaming fundraising event coming up.
Sure. This is helping us celebrate our 60th anniversary. So we used to have a morning glory brunch. I think you had come to that yet.
And you had the little frog races, right?
Yeah. We haven't got frogs. Everybody keeps asking us, but we're celebrating the 60 years by having like a garden party in the evening.
Beautiful.
And so we're just really excited. This is artwork through our students, the sunset. They're doing a whole California kind of dreaming art show also. And we're having a band that plays Beach Boys. It should be a very good, fun evening in the garden. The garden's beautiful, and because we had construction going on, we hadn't been able to do a lot of events up there.
Right.
And so now we're getting ready to reopen our garden center, where we sell plants that have been propagated by our students. Our students work in the garden every day. So we're really excited about that. And this is kind of a little bit of a kickoff for that.
Nice.
And then also it supports our aquatics program.
Yeah, May 16 from 4 to 7. at St. Madeleine Sophie Center. That's out in El Cajon. And what's the address?
At 2119 East Madison Avenue.
Right, and you guys
Yeah.
can Google that.
Yeah.
I highly encourage people to do this. How many people are you expecting?
Probably about 300.
Right,
Yeah.
and it'll sell out.
Yeah, they do. I used to be a lot bigger when it was the Morning Glory Brunch, even 500 people.
Listen, I was there.
I know. So it's exciting. The garden is we're the best kept secret, or a secret garden there. People don't even realize it's there. So just dropping by and seeing our students work in the garden and purchasing a plant that's been grown there, it would be a great thing to do.
Right. Talk a little more about the gallery. You mentioned that earlier.
Mm-hmm. The gallery's downtown El Cajon. Plus, we have a new senior building, and it has an art program there. And so they're working on different projects for the year. And so we're getting ready to work on California Dreamin', and then they're going to do something in the fall also. And then we have Wings and Snow for the holidays, and Gotta Have Heart. So we have annual shows that we do there.
Right. Are you still doing the fashion show?
Yes, we are.
Talk about that.
Our fashion
prepared
show.
with all of
I've
No,
tried
I
to
went
be
to
prepared.
that once. It was fantastic.
Well, this is the one to come to, Diamond's 60th anniversary.
Okay.
And that's where we're celebrating 60 years of serving people with intellectual and developmental disabilities. It should be a great event, August 15th, down at the Hilton Bayfront.
No, that sounds terrific. And what can we expect at that event?
A lot of surprises. We're calling it Hidden Diamonds. It just seems appropriate for the people we serve.
Right.
And
they are hidden diamonds.
They are hidden diamonds. So we're just really excited about it. We have a fashion show. We also have a big auction. We have vendors there. We have champagne. It's just a fun time, and people dress up and things like that.
No, it is fun. When we come back from break, Deborah will talk more about the event on May 16, of course, the Diamond event as well, and any other events that you have on, of course, and then what our listeners can do to support you. You've been a regular on this show in this aspect of it. Talk about some of the challenges we mentioned. Obviously, gas prices. That is not inexpensive to live in San Diego. Anyway, not counting about what's been going on as well. So I know Ian will have some questions for you as well when we return with Debra Emerson. She is the CEO of St. Madeleine Sophie Center. I'm Drew Schlosberg of Cloudcast Media. Listening to another edition of Drew Schlossberg's Spotlight on the Community Show. We are the nation's longest running community podcast in our 20th year, brought to you by Mission Fed Credit Union. 6 decades of doing great things for folks living in San Diego County. And we'll be right back after this short break.
When you do your banking with Mission Fed, you get great rates on auto and home loans. That's good for you, but something good also happens for a lot of other people. We're not for profit, so we put money back into the community to help lots of great nonprofits to keep San Diego strong. So you're not just getting something good, you're doing something good. Come to Mission Fed. It's banking that's good for all.
Brand amplification is the DNA of Cloudcast Media, and our code is the powerful blending of sound, voice, and storytelling to lift local brands and their communities. Whether it is our Brandcast, Schoolcast, or Causecast platforms, the unifying ethos is all about this community, the one you call home. If you dare to dream and want to explore the brand amplification of Cloudcast, a national leader in local podcasting and other Winfluence strategies, please visit us at cloudcast.us.
I'm Drew Schlosberg of Cloudcast Media, listening to another edition of Drew Schlosberg Spotlight on the Community Show, brought to you by Mission Fed Credit Union. Back for, we think, the 20th. I think she's the all-time holder of, been interviewed on our Spotlight on the Community show, and that's Debra Emerson, CEO of St. Madeleine Sophie's Center. And I do really appreciate you coming on and supporting our Spotlight show. And as you remember, we used to do that at the Union Tribune.
I was thinking about that just now, and Cheryl Mitchell, I think, was the one that introduced us.
Exactly. That was a name out of the past and so forth. Joined by our senior producer of our Spotlight show and other Cloudcast Media shows, Ian Solomon. Ian, got another question for Debra?
Yeah, so I wanted to, first of all, congratulate you on another major milestone with the grand opening of the new Carly McGrath Senior Center.
Right.
I wanted you to tell us a little bit more about that and how that came about.
It took us about 10 years to get through that project due to COVID, the cost of doing buildings, things like that. But it's a home for our senior population. We were one of the first programs that offered people with intellectual and developmental disabilities the ability to retire. There's a lot of requirements to work and be in the community. So here they were able, the building is made for them. And it has a computer lab, an art room, an exercise room. It's just really a beautiful building, and so they're all really excited. And just like I said, it was really meant to be. We had a piece of property at the top of the garden. It's right by the garden, so they can walk in the garden also. So everybody's very excited to be there, and we're just glad the project's done.
Mm-hmm.
So if the funding was there, could you handle more than the 380 folks that were there?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So it's a funding deal, not a space deal. To an extent.
The funding was mainly to get the building built. We
Right.
don't have when you just don't even get enough on your rates, there's hard to save money
Right.
for a building.
Right.
So the building cost about $3.5 million, and it started at about 2.5.
Oh my goodness.
So, you had to raise more funds, and also the laws or regulations changed and things like that. But we would be able to support more people since our seniors moved up to that building, and then it opens it up on the whole campus. So we probably can get up to about 500 people.
So as these new problems arise throughout building it, what's that driving force that really keeps you and the organization going?
I'd say the people we serve, somebody came to my office, they were doing our janitor crew, they were working, and he goes, Debra, I know you don't hear enough about this, but you do a great job here, and thank you. I mean, unsolicited, he's emptying my trash can, and I was taken back that he said that to me.
Well, listen, you can't see this through the internet here, but Deborah's a little teary-eyed, as she should be. I mean, her passion for this wonderful clients that she has, and anybody who spends time there, if you don't sit there and have your heart warmed by what they're doing, that means you were born without a heart. And don't ask me how you're functioning, for God's sake, in this area. And it's a beautiful thing to see, in this area. And I'm not sure if you spent much time, in organizations with folks who are developmentally challenged, whether it's you're 22 or whether you're 83. But if you're not touched by that, then there's something wrong. And people tend to forget that, well, how can they contribute to society? I said they contribute more than you can even imagine what they can do. I mean, obviously, it's some of the great things they do. They're working and actually contributing to the economy and just what they do. And you look at what their feelings, how they just. They're no different, and they aren't any different than us. And I think that's one of the key parts, in this area. What can we do to support your efforts? Obviously, donations are important. Do you need volunteers? Do you need products? Do you need, artwork? Do you need
volunteers? We're really trying to get volunteers to help our staff.
Okay.
And then just coming to our events, or if you'd like to come out and visit us, we'd love to show you what we do. It's interesting. A lot of people have somebody in their family that have a disability of some type. And so a lot of people don't know we're there. So introducing us to your family and friends is really important too. If you have a company, if you want to sponsor something, those are big things for us because it's a lot of competition out there. There's a lot of great organizations that, support different things. So we're just one of many, but I think we're a special one because we're in East County and we serve a great deal of people out there. And we've tried to do our best every day. That's what I say. Do your best every day, and we'll get through the day. But every day is so different. You don't know what's going to happen.
So, listen, you've had yourself 31 years there. And you've probably got 31 years of stories in this aspect.
Yes.
But talk about this one with Robin Kulik. Am I pronouncing that correctly?
Yes, she's now my board president, but originally she was a swim mom. Her son had autism, and he came for swimming lessons, and then went to school, through the school system, and came back to us. And he was in a high behavioral. People with autism sometimes have behaviors or social skill issues.
Right.
And now he just a wonder. And he comes there every day. And she's very proud of him, and so am I, because I've known him since he was like 5 or 6 years old.
How old is he now?
He's in his late 20s.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah, and just a great kid, young man, excuse me. I've even seen him out at a restaurant in La Mesa. He was out having a hamburger. So, and he, carries on conversations. So, great family, really supportive of him and very engaged in our community.
Right, exactly. Talk about your work with the Regional Center. And explain what the Regional Center is for those who might not know.
Department of Developmental Services pays Regional Center the funding, and they have social workers that check on our students. We casework for each student also, and so they help support the families with the services they need to support that person.
Yeah, and I think what folks realize is that doesn't fund everything, not even close to what you need in this area, or the other groups that you're working with. And so, are you, one of the aims is to work with individual donors? I mean, certainly you want to work with companies as well on this.
Mm-hmm. Of course, individual donors, just like the McGrath family,
Right.
The Page family. We have a lot of families that support us, but I think a lot of families don't have their own funds. When you're talking food and gas and all those just basic needs that people have, it's hard to donate. But anything helps. $5 a day would help.
Right. Do you need more teaching artists, so to speak, to come in and show the kids, show the folks that were there how to do things, or not necessarily?
Oh, we always need talented people, artists, swim teachers,
Right.
exercise people.
Right.
We could use a lot of help in a lot of different areas because it would help broaden our curriculum that we can offer those students.
Is music a part of it at all?
Yes, we have music that comes in. I think it's 2 or 3 times a week to each department, so we pay for that. But if somebody wanted to come in and volunteer and do that, of course, that would be great.
Right. Shout out your May 16 event again.
I'm
May
sorry?
16. So shout out your May 16 event.
And that is California Dreamin'.
Okay.
Come and have some fun with us in the garden.
All right, May 16, 4 to 7. It's going to be at St. Madeleine Sophie Center. So this thing will sell out. So you want to go ahead and do that, and talk about the Diamond event. And what time is that?
That is on August 15th, and
right.
it's from 10 to 2.
And that's going to be down at the Hilton Bayfront,
Yes.
August. You said 16th. Is that what you said?
15th.
15th.
Sorry,
okay.
got a tickle in my throat.
No worries. That happens. And again, that should be a great event as well. Shout out the website one more time, Deborah.
stmsc.org, St. Madeleine Sophie Center.
Very good. Ian, any other questions?
That's just been amazing getting to hear about all the incredible work that you guys are doing. It sounds like I need to also take a visit down to the garden as well.
Yeah, you should both come out. If you ever want to do a podcast there, that would be a great place.
Well, listen, we love doing remotes, and we may take you up on that one. We'll talk to Charles, because then what we can do is have some of the folks there that would.
you'd be able to interview them.
Yeah. There's no question about it. We usually like to do those things around events, and
These
that would be a good one. I'm
This
sure
one, this one would be a good one.
that would be a good one, right? We'll have
Yeah.
to fly Ian back in from New York on that one, so or wherever he'll be at that time. Well, Debra Emerson, it's always good seeing you. She is the CEO of St. Madeleine Sophie Center. I'm Drew Schlosberg of Cloudcast Media. Been listening to another edition of Drew Schlosberg Spotlight on the Community Show. We are the nation's longest running community podcast in our 20th year, brought to you by Mission Fed Credit Union. To our audience, we hope you enjoyed listening to Debra Emerson.
You've been listening to an episode of Drew Schlosberg's Spotlight on the Community Show, amplifying the voices of social impact organizations, entrepreneurs, local nonprofits, and other community champions who shape the culture, creativity, and connectivity of San Diego community. Brought to you by Mission Fed Credit Union, bringing good things to San Diego for over 60 years. Learn more about what is good for you and good for all by visiting www.missionfed.com.